cheers, and enjoy the beers. Yes. Greetings. Good evening, everybody. Back again on Disco, Rascal and Disco Beer Review with another live show from in front of the cans and bottles here on the bar, or I'm still crazily calling the Disco Arms. And as you can see, for a Tuesday tipple tonight, we have special guests, or a special guest in the house so far. Special guests shortly. As you see, Stu from the Lager Logs. Welcome along to the Disco Arms. Stu, how you doing, sir?
I am doing great, Disco. Thanks for having us on.
Absolute pleasure. No, thanks for giving us a shout with the beers. I always like to get out and chat about beers. So especially as I know, the feelings when you get your own name on, especially on an own beer that you brewed. I guess it's I can't quite find the words immediately, but it's a good feeling, right?
Yeah, it's definitely like an accomplishment. Almost, it's like maybe like a bucket list thing for craft beer dafties like us. Just like, oh yeah, drinking it's one thing, visiting the breweries another, actually getting in amongst the mix and making your own. It's next level.
Indeed. I mean, I've been lucky. Well, once I had a brewery contact me, like when just off basically doing Instagram and that, and saying, "Oh, what would you do? What did they say? Oh, do you want to put cherries or apricots?" And I went cherries, and they brought out a cherry and a white chocolate pale ale and called it Disco Duck. And I'm like, well, that's close enough. I'm happy with that.
Amazing.
And it's a bit different now. I'm making beers most weeks, so it's not really my beer, but it's like it's not got my name on it.
That's the next level after making your own, actually becoming employed by said brewery. That's it. Yeah, that's the next rung of the ladder.
Kind of, yeah, like semi-pro, like a semi-pro footballer almost.
Aye.
Well, hopefully Tom will be along shortly. I thought we'd crack on. Shall I wait for him to do the beers? Let's have a quick look who's in. As always, we've got a few people. Welcome along. If you're watching along, if you've got a beer, let us know what you've got in the glass. Henry 420, as always good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Cheers, my man. And Sammy from Short and Stout. Cheers, sir. All the way from Australia once again. And as ever, Mr. Wilson popping in. Cheers all. Thank you very much indeed. Let us know what you've got in the glass. As I say, Simo as well. Good evening, sir. Thanks very much indeed for popping in. I was thinking, well, I won't do it yet, but I was probably just going to do the Pilsner first of all. Seems to make no sense to me. And then we'll go darker with the ESB maybe, or stronger with the ESB a bit later. But it's not stronger, is it? They're both the same. Both the same ABV.
Yep, 5%. It was really surprising when we got the option at Stewart Brewing, because felt like we'd done like 95% of the brewing, and it got to the point where we just had to add the yeast, and that's where they gave us the option of, well, you've made enough beer to create two different styles, so like let's just change up the yeast for one barrel and then put something else in the other barrel. So yeah, the look, the ABV are identical. It's just the yeast we put in at the end just changed up the styles.
Wow. Okay. That hadn't occurred to me. I thought it might be like similar recipe, but yeah, of course, give it on a different style. That's exactly what do it. So what sort of Pilsner are we going towards though? Like, is the hops the same as well then?
Yes. Because I'm trying to think back to that day. I think there was one point where we did a dry hop, but no, I think it was identical just till the very last minute, and then we decided to go two different directions with adding the yeast. Obviously, with it being at Stewart Brewing, it was the ones that they would use for like their Stewart's Lager, and then the other one they would use for like is it Edinburgh Golds and their Holyrood beer.
Cool. So there, talking of Pilsners, Dave Wilson's on New Zealand Pilsner from Rivington right now. Good stuff. A few German beers last night. So I always forget Stewart Brewing. They're in Edinburgh. I don't know why I always think they're in Glasgow. I think I'm thinking I get Williams Brothers and Stewart mixed up a little bit, but
Mhm.
and is that because they're local to you? Are you Edinburgh way? I know you're.
I'm not too far from Edinburgh. It's sort of like a 1 hour drive to get there, or maybe like half an hour because they're just outside of the city centre. It's
Uh-huh.
Lonehead near Pentland Hills. So you could get to the city centre and then you just need to like hop in like an Uber for 20 minutes. It probably doesn't take 20 minutes, but like Edinburgh traffic will make it 20 to 30 minutes to get anywhere you need to go. So yes, it is out of the way, but when you get there, it's a brilliant site. Like
Yeah, it
what?
looked a good day out. I linked to your video in the description, and obviously
Oh, thank you.
watched it at the time. It looked like a good day out.
Yes, aye. The fact that they have like that pizza kitchen is definitely like the icing on top, and especially like when you're at these tap rooms and you're sampling beers, you get surprisingly drunk really quickly. Um, So, I mean, even when we were bottling our beer, there were just two of us there for that stage, and it was like we went in 10 a.m., sitting on bottling away, doing the caps, and they kept saying, "Here, take some from the tap, have a wee drink." And it was like, "Yeah, this is great." And then I'm just thinking, Christ, I've had like more beer than I have toast today. I just remember having like a cup of tea and a slice of toast before I left the house, and now I was on like my third sample straight from the tank, and I was like, right, we needed the food. So it was like stumbling straight into like the pizza kitchen for the hot honey pizza directly after bottling the beer, just to kind of level myself out.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely need a little bit of stodge to get in there and
Aye.
keep you on the straight and narrow. Like, I have the same, like working at a brewery. I think I probably drink a bit less these days.
Mhm.
Like, not for the want to try them, but it's just like trying to have a couple of pints during the day. Like, you wait till the end, like, and like we're a
Aye.
bit easy going. But yeah, a couple of pints afterwards, and that's it. I've been on my feet all day, so I want to go home. But if I go there as a customer, like as long
Yeah.
as I don't start working or anything, like if I've got a day
Aye.
off, it's like, well, where's someone going to go to drink? I'm like, well, I'm going to the tap room.
Oh yeah. But you'll get the best discounts there.
Exactly, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. Who did the label design? Were you involved in that as well? Of the
Yeah,
bottle?
that was me. I was trying to. I was really struggling to do the labels for them, and then they directed me to that. There's a Canva website where it's
Oh yeah.
just they have all the templates. So I done the usual. You sign up for the free trial to get all the good ones, and then cancel once you've made what you wanted. So I
Okay.
went
Yeah.
on there,
So
pulled
I
all
use
the
Canva for the thumbnail. So I kind of, but
yeah,
only the free
aye,
stuff. I never bothered signing up. But yeah, but it's easy. It's
aye,
fairly easy to do, isn't it? So
exactly. And when you're looking up like can wraps, beer bottle labels, all the good ones were behind that paywall. So I
yeah.
thought, right, I'll jump in for the free trial. Got 30 days. Quickly done the best for both of them. They gave us an option to add like QR codes, so we did that.
Oh
And
yeah.
Tom wrote a little blurb on the side of the bottle. So there's probably a little paragraph of text, and it's a wee short story from Tom. Um, but yeah, done that for each for the ESB and the Pilsner, and I think they've come out looking great.
They certainly have. Yeah. There's a lot of. I haven't actually read the information yet. I've got the old a magnifying glass out to have a little read, as I always do.
Mhm.
I don't know. Should we wait for Tom, or shall I just crack the beer open and go for this first one? Do you think you'll mind?
No, I don't think you'll mind. Definitely, you've got a schedule to keep.
No, not really. We're just sort of sitting in a bar chatting away, basically. So it takes as
Fair
long as it
enough.
takes. It's
Well, I'll open mine first. I didn't actually have any in the fridge. The only thing I've got in my fridge was a Stewart Brewing and Stoats raspberry and honey oat pale.
whoa,
Yes.
whoa.
So
That is rather sounding rather good, to be fair.
that
Um,
or a Benedictiner Hell. So I
cool.
guess a Hell is
Yeah.
just a little bottle I found in my local Aldi's, and they've been in the fridge all day. So there we which one would look better in this glass?
Oh, well, definitely the Hellers, I think, to
think
start
so.
with, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
I think I'll go that way.
I've gone Czech Pilsner glass myself because I just really rather like this one from Bohemia Regent.
Ah, nice one.
I think it'll do the job, you know.
Mm-hmm. So how long have you worked in the brewery now, Disco?
Well, about a year this month, pretty much. But it's kind of hard to say because I've sort of like been there from pretty much the second tap day they ever did and seen it grow. And so as a customer and obviously like doing all the reviews and posting them up, that's how I got to know them kind of thing. It feels a bit like I've been there 5 years, you know. It's like from the off, that's how long they've been there. So it's sort of, and I said when he said to me, "Oh, you know about the beers and stuff," I said, "Well, I know what I know. Like, there's still probably a lot that I don't know about the brewing process."
Mm-hmm.
And turns out I'm quite good at talking, so I talk to the customers and tell the customers about the beer when I'm on the bar, and I'm actually probably better at that than I am.
The perfect salesman.
Well, yeah, I give it a go. I'm never sure, but when you get people walk up and go, "Oh, I don't like this and that," I said, "Well, have you tried this one? This has got this, that, and that." Oh, okay, yeah. We did we do a tomato beer, a tomato sour, which is a bit weird, and we've got it in tank again at the moment. And like at one point, I think one of my first times, this woman walked up and said, "What have you got?" And I said, "Oh, I don't like tomatoes." So I give it all like, you know, what it tasted like. It didn't taste like actually tomatoes, but you know, tomato ketchup or whatever. And anyway, she walked away with 3 bottles and was quite happy. So I don't know how I managed that.
Wow, nice one.
Yeah. A Stella in a wildcard brewery glass. Well, bonus points for the brewery glass. We never judge you, Henry. You drink where you want, my man. That's cool. Tomato sour sounds super. Yeah, it's coming out again in a couple of weeks. It's not as weird as it sounds. It's like, you know, it's kind of almost like a Bloody Mary in a way.
Oh,
hasn't got a strong, hasn't got like that vodka kind of ness on it, but it's really good with food. Great with a pizza. You know what I mean? 4 cheese pizza, cheese and tomato, but it's got gentle sourness, a kind of like tomato juice kind of note to it, but it's also got like, it's obviously a sour beer, so it's not everybody's, but I wouldn't be drinking pints of it, but I do have a little tip. It's quite refreshing, like on a warm day and that. So
that sounds nice. Like clearly one of your 5 a day as well.
Oh yeah. So you go from that, then you go on to the lemon sour. We've got a mango sour that's got quite a lot of fruit in it at the moment. So you can. It's almost a salad beer basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, I nearly forgot to bring me bottle top. And I noticed they got the Stewart Brewing bottle tops on as well, which is pretty good.
Yeah. Aye.
So well, let's get this one into the glass anyway, because we are ready to drink beer after all.
Exactly.
It's all good. Wait for Tom to make his big appearance, his big entrance. Ooh. Well, there we go. It's darker than I was expecting, but it's got the right colour on it. Good head development. I don't mess about. I just pour it straight in and get on with it generally. Oh, my lighting's terrible today. It always is. Right, so I'm going to do the thing where I step aside and stand behind the camera to take the photograph so I can do the actual beer review on the Instagram tomorrow. But hopefully you can still hear me and we can keep talking.
Yeah, mate, of course. Do your thing. That is a nice glass.
Yeah. Well, given to me by the brewery when I went to the Czech Republic part of Notting Hill, London the other day in the Czech Beer Day. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Yeah, love the logo on it and the gold lettering. There we go. We got there in the end. I should get a better lighting set up for this game, really. I'm on fairly basic stuff. Like I can't stand. I don't get like ring lights because of my glasses.
Yeah, of
I
course.
won't use one. So, PA Boonies, welcome along from America. Thanks for popping in. We got your sub from Simo. Superb.
Oh, thank you very much, mate.
Yeah. So, well, let's do the thing. Let's dive into this. The only problem with this glass is that the logo's on the inside. So when you pick it up to drink, unless you're left-handed, I want a logo on both sides so that people can still see what I'm drinking from. But yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Wait. Before we do that, I haven't got the drum roll going on. But if Tom can see us, 3, 2, 1. Here he is, the man himself. Tom, welcome aboard, my man. Thank you very much for popping in. How the devil are you, sir?
How we doing, Soul Brothers? You okay?
Absolutely superb. You're just in time, sir. I've just cracked the Pilsner.
Oh, wow. Okay, I've heard that beer is very, very, very good. But this is what Stu told me. I haven't had a chance to try it myself yet. Every's got our bottles. We donated 24 of them to that fine company, and somebody's doing their 13th bottle, I suppose, at this point in time. But yeah, some Jive Turkeys told me there was a disco going on. It doesn't look like a disco.
No disco ball here tonight. It's just in name only, I'm afraid, is the disco. But no, that's fine. You're dressed appropriately. I don't have anything as cool and funky as that to wear. I'm not that kind of cool and funky dude. So I'm glad somebody is. Okay. I'm glad you rocked up.
If you need to borrow this, you can just give me a shout. It's absolutely fine. It's Oxid. I haven't quite worked out what it means, but if you can work that out and get it back to me, I'd really appreciate that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'd like to let women know, kind of what it stands for when they ask, as they do most of the time. What does that mean? Is it some kind of abstract name for your cat, something like that? Is it your mom, your dearly beloved, just past mother's name on your neck? It may be, baby. But it'd be nice if I could get like a real meaning behind it, and you could explain that to me, and we could go out together. That sounds great.
The correct answer is, what does any of it mean, man? What does any of it mean?
Oh no,
I don't know, man. I haven't figured it out myself just yet.
Okay, so I'm going to get deep into this pint glass right now.
Yeah.
Cheers to the both of you. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for sending me the beers.
Cheers, lovely, mate.
You've got a beer as well. Superb, Tom. Let me get this down my neck and I'll tell you what I think.
Cheers to the chat room as well.
Wow.
Drinking on a school night. How filthy.
I mean, this was almost like an equation. Like it's Disco plus Stu equals like Disco Stu from The Simpsons.
That's what I meant to do. So you guys on top. I like this balance and symmetry, man. It's your show.
On this side of the room now.
As a duo, are you okay with left and right, or do you have a particular, like in videos, where you stand, or on live?
I'm Muslim, so I can't speak on what Stu is these days. But
it reads as Tom and Stu, so that's fine with me.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's not like an Ant and Dec thing. One must be on the left or anything like that.
He's a right disco diva.
Yeah. Which one's Ant and which one's Dec out of the two of you then, as a duo?
Oh, they can. We're both
Ant
really short.
Ant and Dick. Did you say Dick's definitely over?
That's it. Yeah, you fell for the mirrored image.
That'd be Dick and Dom, wouldn't it? And the bungalow. I don't know which way I'm pointing in these boxes, man. It's confusing.
It's really trippy, man. I'm tripping balls right now.
But the beer is sound, man. There's some good flavors in there.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh no, one of us is frozen. Are we back? We're back in the room.
Yes, it was like a little frozen, cheeky, happy face drinking beer. So
I think it might have been you, Disco. You might want to turn the heating up in that room, bud.
It might be just my dodgy mobile internet, but there you go. I am a mobile disco.
Oh, there you go.
Now you're talking my language.
Yeah. Beer's lovely, man. There's some great flavours in there. A little bit of lemon at the end. Definitely a good breadiness. A little bit of marmalade, which I always like in a pilsner. A little bit of stickiness. Touch of herbalness, I think.
Yeah.
Herbiness was what we were going for. I don't think we quite achieved it with that. I think it's more of a tasty failure. I would kind of class that as. I would wait till you get to the ESB. I think that's what we're really proud of.
Okay.
I think that one's kind of more what it says on the tin, whereas the Pilsner's a bit of a wild card. But some people seem to like it. Some people are a bit lukewarm on it. But I think the all-round, the bitter has been the winner in a lot of people's books.
Okay, yeah, well, we'll get onto that in a moment. But I'm no expert even on Pilsners, but I've been drinking a fair bit of both German and Czech Pilsners. And it's definitely got all the right notes. Thanks, Toilet Bowl. Apparently, when I move my head to the left, it looks like I'm wearing Mickey Mouse ears with the two hats on the wall. It's not only you that's got a disguise today, Tom. It's me too, look.
Where did you go?
Immediately.
I can't see you. It's blended in perfectly then.
Gonna swap those hats out, man. Henry is already a sub. All good. Top stuff. Well done.
What's the Stu and Mark channel? Is that Stu? How dare you? Are you going behind my back for the second time?
Oh no, I've got you in trouble there, Henry. And David Wilson reckons I need one of those necklaces. Yeah, it does look pretty good, man. I like the pink shirt, man. I think it takes a real man to wear pink and a proper man to carry it off. And you've just done just that.
Feel macho and kind of relaxed tonight.
Yeah, man. Disco mouse.
Did you just raid like the local charity shops today, Tom, for this outfit?
No, this is something that you have to mail order. You have to, the adverts on TV where they say send a check for £14 to some warehouse in Bilston. I had to do that. I've been waiting 4 years for this outfit to come through, but I'm so glad that it landed just in time for tonight. It makes sense. I was just going to wear it next Saturday. I've got my uncle's wedding reception. I was going to wear it to that, but Stu told me we were doing this evening, so I thought I'd show up wearing this for tonight instead. Didn't get the whole disco thing. This is just kind of how I like to look on a Tuesday evening.
Yeah, that is an absolutely Boston outfit, and I bet I'm the only other one on the stream that knows where Bilston is. I've been a couple of times to the Robin Hood. Is it Robin Hood in Bilston?
Yeah,
for a couple of festivals and gigs and stuff. Yeah, I've been to Bilston, man. Absolutely, Boston. Boston Days was the festival name, actually.
Yeah, the Robin and the Robin 2, I think.
It's the Robin, not the Robin Hood. Yeah, it's called the Robin 2.
Yeah. They've been going for many years. Probably the only thing left standing in Bilston, unfortunately. Shout out to there.
Well, it's got half decent Weatherspoons as well. Tick that one off.
There you go. 1.5 place is still standing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's a
There's so much glare from my glasses, guys. Are you okay? Because Stu's squinting a little bit. I just don't want to put you off.
Well, no, you're looking good, man. It's all good. What's in your glass, Tom? By the way, I forgot to ask. Sorry.
Tonight I am drinking Fuller's London Pride. Seeing as it is you don't like Fuller's, no?
You triggered them.
Cannot stand London Pride is essentially swearing at me, Tom. But I'll let you off on this occasion.
Okay. I thought the door was going or something. I didn't think it was.
No, I can't
in the corner.
I do that to a lot of people, but no, because I live in Fuller's area. All of the pubs around here are Fuller's, and I think a lot of the pubs, when I was like, a teenager, going in and having a pint of London Pride, there wasn't any pride in it. It just was like a beer they had to put on, and I've had so many bad pints of it, I just gave up, and now I've probably not had a pint of it for about 20 years.
I think it tastes really good. Don't know what you were drinking, but for me, that's the notes that I'm getting from this evening. It's probably my least favorite of the Fuller's range. They definitely do more interesting beers, but I think as a rock solid bitter, nothing too fancy, it really does the job, especially I say on a weeknight.
Yeah, it's fair enough. I'm just duty bound to like balk at it and go, oh, it's terrible. But yeah, there are much worse out there. But yeah,
like I'm not craft beer snob, right?
Yeah, I'm totally a beer snob. Yeah.
You sit in the corner and drink your tiny Rebel. The real Mel, I'll have a pint of London Pride.
You're not getting any better there. I'm also a bit anti-Fuller's because they stopped two of my favourite ever beers. Like I love Discovery. Fuller's Discovery was a great pint, not just because it had disco in the name, but they had one called Firecracker, which was absolutely brilliant from Gales. But yeah,
I think I have heard of that one. That was quite a while ago now, right?
Yeah. It was about 8 years ago, and it came out about this time of year, and it had like cinnamon and all these spices in it, and it was just a proper Christmassy kind of autumnal kind of beer. And I got very Wayne Curd on that on many occasions, but then they only did it for 3 years, and I was gutted.
Yeah, we're always looking for a good Christmas beer. I think me and Stu have sampled quite a few disappointing ones on the show in the past. We must have reviewed like 5 or 6 now, and I can't remember one off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Well, if we get our stuff sorted and I get cans and stuff out by Christmas, I will, of course, send you some of ours if I can. I just won't use Timu. Timu? What are they called? Every.
No, Robin bastard. That'd be really cool if you appreciate that, man.
If it's Timu, drinks would probably be this size when they come.
I've never ordered from them either. Dave Wilson agrees that it's not as good as it used to be, but no, it's nostalgia. I still make Red Fox.
Yeah, I've heard about Red Fox.
Yeah, and of course they're ESB. Will we be making comparisons later to your ESB with Fuller's ESB?
You definitely will. Yeah, we think it's a complete rip-off, and we own that. We're proud of that fact. Yeah, it's one of my favorite beers and one of Scott's favorite beers. Who assisted us with the brew, and it was his stag do. So I think he's quite proud of it too.
Yeah.
Superb. Yeah. We'll get onto that in a minute, and we'll tell us all about that then. But so how much was the input? I know you said obviously, like Stu was saying earlier about like the labels and deciding on the yeast, but you were basically shoveling malt and slinging hops and yeast for this beer all day.
Yeah, we did all the grunt work, to be honest. Stu's really the mastermind behind it. He's the brains of this operation. And I think that, we kind of just did what he said. Luckily, he left the whip at home that day. I think he's been using it a bit too much during the show recently. So we had kind of a bit more free reign than we usually do. But no, it was kind of a bit of a joint decision, really. It was definitely a beer democracy. And I think, like Stu said, we kind of, what we've said before, that it was coming down to kind of finishing the beer, and we had a pretty good Pilsner on our hands, we thought. And then they asked us if we wanted to kind of do a different style, because we were very close to, an ESB, and we only need to kind of change the yeast up a little bit, which we thought would be a really cool idea. And just having two would be, nice to have. It'd be nice to kind of have a Logs beer and nice to have a Scott beer as well. And we thought that having kind of two quite different styles as well would be really awesome.
It gives you a different outlook and a different comparison, doesn't it?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. But like I was saying earlier, I think the response has been muted. No, it's been a bit different, kind of from person to person. So I think that's kind of more interesting than having a beer that just ticks all the boxes for everyone. Some people are like, I'm getting lemons, I'm getting limes, I'm getting gravy, I'm getting the taste from the bottom of the bin, or at least the taste of the smell of the bottom of the bin. And I'm talking about the recycling one, the one where you put the plastic in, so you got all the kind of meat wrapping and all that kind of manky stuff. We've specifically heard that feedback before, so I like the fact that it's getting mixed praise, as it were. And that's just amongst us.
Like I say, as a Pilsner as it goes, obviously drinking out of a Pilsner-ish kind of Czech Pilsner glass as well makes a difference. A little bit of lacing on the glass, not too much, but a bit there. So that's usually a good indication of something quality, going towards quality. I say all them bready notes, got a little bit of lemon on the
back.
Buddy, just keep it coming, keep it coming. We're not recording this.
A little bit of quality. That's
not
like if it was a movie poster. A little bit of quality. That's definitely on there.
I'm just going to write them all down, look at them tomorrow, and I am worthy. I am worthy. You know, it could be my new mantra. I appreciate that, Disco.
Did you have to do all the cleaning afters as well? You say you do the grunt work. Did he get you to cleaning out the mash tun, etc.?
Thank God. You know, normally on Sundays he gets me to wash his car. But I think that morning he was too hungover to actually realise his car was still dirty. So I got away with that one, which is good. Dodged a bullet there. But no, luckily the lovely people at Stewart Brewing did that for us. We came in, we made a mess, and we just left without really thanking anybody.
I had a few beers on the way.
Well, that as well. Yeah, that as well.
And that's one of the things. Like, obviously, you're there to brew, but you're also given a handful of beer tokens to redeem for half pints at the bar. I think was it like we were given 4 tokens each. And
too many.
even when you got there, they'd say, "Oh yeah, if you want to sample anything from the taps, like give us a shout." And then it's the same with we had an idea of what beer we were wanting. So well, here, this is our lager, and this is our golden ale. What do you think of these? And and we were shepherded with. Well, I said shepherd. He was more like our Sherpa. Nathan, the head brewer at Stewart Brewing, drew the short straw, and he was lumped with us.
He's much more than the head. He's the broad shoulders of Stewart Brewing as well. I think.
Solid chin.
Yeah, from my experience with him. But yeah, Stu's right. We got to sample a lot while we were there, and they do a cracking 80 shilling, which we were enjoying, and I think a brown ale too, if I remember, as well as their Edinburgh Gold, which is kind of one of their kind of go-to beers, and I think a lot of people really dig. We drank a lot of that. So it was a really cool experience overall, not just the brewing. You know, the Uber down was good as well. The one back, not so good. You know, there was a lot of upset stomachs. I think there was a bit too much pizza eating. And Stuart, I'm looking at you over there. You know, guilty party over here. But they were really cool, and we can't praise them enough. So I'm just going to stop now.
Superb. No, that's good for a good day out. What so what, like, you two both kind of like share the kind of beer tastes? Do you go diamond? Do you like, what's your kind of go-to kind of beer? Do you both like have the same thing, or are you both at odds?
I'm a sours and craft kind of guy. No, that's more Stu. I think I'm more, dare I say, traditional, bog standard.
Very much traditional boy.
Yeah, kind of more to my taste. It's kind of what I grew up drinking. When I say grew up, it sounds a bit weird. It's like as soon as
like a child. You were brought up with.
None of us are grown up yet, Tom. That's why we're thinking about on YouTube.
That's good to hear. As soon as I came out of the womb, my father handed me a can of Stones and said, "Here you go. Welcome to the world. Please do with this what you may." It was a bit like that. No, I'm kind of more traditional, Stu's more craft, and I think that we've probably over the course of the 3-4 years we've kind of been doing a show now that we've introduced each other to a lot of different stuff, which is really cool because it's probably things that I probably wouldn't have tried unless we were doing a show and unless Stu was kind of showing it to me. So it's really cool, been a really cool experience. But I think we're quite. I don't know. I think our opinions are always often quite similar. It's very rare that we get a beer where Stu loves and I hate, or vice versa. It's always quite similar in terms of the tasting notes, but one of us might just slightly like it a bit more or hate it a bit more in some instances.
I think it's only fair Stu gets a right reply on it. Is that the case, or do you hate everything Tom hates?
Oh, he's talking right out of, he's talking out of that silly wig. Like he knows something. No.
Sorry, man.
He is right. When we did our podcast prior to YouTube, 9 times out of 10, you're right. There's that your soul glow. Careful, that could be flammable now.
Don't worry, there's no naked flames around.
Okay. So yeah, our opinions were quite.
I'm glad we've got no nakedness today, to be fair, Tom.
I mean, I'm kind of on the way, to be honest. It depends on how many terrible pints of London Pride I have. This disgusting drink might just make me turn into a madman and start ripping off all my clothes. I'm about to go on a real rage, yeah. Not even a bit of Leo Sayers going to calm me down tonight, I'll tell you that.
No, I meant I was glad Stu kept his clothes on.
Oh, okay. Thanks, man. Appreciate the compliment.
Yeah, we've only gotten topless once this year for our review, and I immediately regretted it.
That. It's a surprise, man. You ruined the next video now.
I can't even remember, ladies and gentlemen. That was just the abiding memory. I think it was probably the first time I saw Tom on a stream, and it was just, it was a mind-blowing experience.
Thank you. You got to give people what they want.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
It's all about entertainment, isn't it? The show must go on.
He's got a track record of these things.
Yeah. Stu, less about me. You're talking about the things you hate that I love.
Oh, yeah. Like ESBs, bitters, shillings.
Get rid of
80
that.
of them, all 80.
Get rid of the shillings. Ooh, we need some new kind of money, a new currency, guys. Get rid of that shilling. Oh,
yeah.
I
got my beer tasting the coins.
Let's bring back the D's to 20D for something. Let's do that. What do you reckon, Stu? That's what he's about to say.
I think. Since I'm up here in Scotland, I feel the craft beer scene in Scotland is crazy. Every direction you look, there's several breweries trying something completely different. So I feel like I'm exposed to so much more different styles, but that might just be me up here in Scotland. It could be completely different down there in England. But yeah, having places like Vault City at my doorstep and Fine Ales, Broughton, Williams Bros, Fierce, like all their stuff immediately accessible in supermarkets. And then when you go into bottle shops and you're kind of getting the more deeper cut breweries, finding like your imperial stouts full of chili and chocolate, things like that. So yeah, I feel like I'm exposed to so much more crazy beers up here, and having really nice tap rooms like the Vault in Edinburgh. Just going in and being able to order from a board, I think it might be like 24 different taps in a tap room that's just like the length of a corridor and no more. My accessibility to craft beer is maybe 3 times as much as maybe what Tom's accessibility is.
Okay, you're just rubbing it in now, to be honest. Like I was kind of with you for a little bit there, and then you kind of just went off the rails there.
I don't know. I mean, to be fair, like compared to, I feel a bit like the poor relation where I am in Northwest London. We have very little comparative. I think even in the Midlands area, there's a fair bit.
I think Stu's right with that. I think the Scotland craft beer scene definitely kind of blows us away. I don't know. I just don't think there's as much available, whether it be in the shops or whether it be tap rooms, etc. I just maybe they're about, but I just feel like at least the quality of the Scottish craft beer is just a lot better, and there's just so much more available to try.
Yeah, maybe you have to work a bit harder to find. Like, there's go a bit further.
I think you're right, Buds. Yeah, maybe that's because of that reason. I've been more of a traditional guy for like a long time. It might be because of that. I don't know, but I just think, yeah, kind of doing the show has really opened up my eyes to kind of what Stu's got over there and the ease with which he acquires really, really amazing beers.
And then it's kind of like well, not a competition, but it's a bit of a challenge for you to maybe come and get the same beer. Did you do that a lot, where you were like, oh, let's do this beer if we can? I know you've done the Aldi stuff where you can get the same beers and that, but
the early days of the show, I think we used to kind of do things that we could both find quite easily, and then as we progressed, we would do more stuff that was either down this way or down Stu's way, and we'd send them along, and sometimes Stu would send them in a carrier bag, and they'd arrive at my place just a bag filled with liquid, which was a bit inconvenient, to be honest. Can't really podcast with that. But we didn't, very rarely had incidents like that. They mostly arrive safe and sound, but I think now, we do rely a lot on Stu sending stuff down, especially when we're doing craft beer.
If you could just bear with me a second, gentlemen, there's something, a little bit of admin I completely forgot to do at the start of the show that I normally do. So bear with me a second. Beer number 1, please. Sorry, I forgot to do that. That just amuses me, and then I flash up the beer that I'm actually drinking. I just realised I got the banner wrong on the bottom. So now
that was worth the wait.
Sort that out. Thank you.
That's very impressive.
I felt like we were on Bullseye for a second there.
It did feel like that. Yeah,
hey, that's coming back. They're bringing that back. Have you seen the advert? They're bringing Bullseye back.
Yeah,
without Jim Bowen.
Yeah, without Jim Bowen, it's going to be what's that cricketer? Freddie Flintoff, apparently.
Yeah.
No Jib, no watch. I'm sorry.
Yes, it's going to be different. But if any show was going to come back, it probably should be that one. I mean, obviously, I don't really need a speedboat in northwest London. We were talking about this last night, and probably not to you, Tom, but you've got a bunch of canals or something that you can use it on. So you never know.
You never know. Possibly. I don't know. I'm not so good with the darts, to be honest. I'm more of a volleyball kind of guy myself.
Oh, so you can do the general knowledge. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I think you and Stu. Good pairing.
Apparently, we were talking about this last night. Apparently, Brad Evans is going to give it a go because he's in the darts team. So there might be some YouTube beer tube action on Bullseye. That'd be kind of fun.
That would be a good combination, I think.
Yeah. Talking also of that local bit of news I saw today. Apparently, Marston's is closing Banks's brewery up in Wolverhampton. I guess that's your next localish area, isn't it? So talking about traditional stuff. So
didn't want to talk about tonight. I specifically, I sent an email earlier to you, obviously, with a list of things that I could not talk about during the show, and I cannot believe that you brought that up.
Oh man,
what next? That kid I had that no one knows who the mom is. We're going to talk about that.
That's not beer related. We'll definitely steer clear of that. I must have missed that memo in the distance between the two of us. Tom getting down.
You never got a writer in time. That's all.
There's been some admin issues. Clearly, Stewart. I'm blaming you for this one. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, we can move swiftly on. Proper Preston lad is Freddie. Yeah. whether he'd be a good host or not, but
I'm very sad, Disco. I'm very sad. I'm sad that didn't manage to get on the tour because they stopped doing them during COVID and never recovered. Again, one of my favorite beers, one of my favorite breweries, and I'm going to be crying about it for probably, I'd say 3 to 5 weeks, somewhere in that area.
I've generally been disappointed with Carlsberg Marston's for about 15 years now, so it's no surprise, but it is very, very sad.
Well, they suck, but Banks is still rules. Well, even though the whole, the not having a brewery thing, they still rule.
Yeah.
What was that, Stu? You get 5 out of 5, was that? I saw just in the corner of my eye there.
You saw 5 fingers. I can show you one of them.
Okay.
So, speaking of brewery tours, that last one you were on.
Yes.
Black
Country Ales, please. Yeah, you got there. I was surprised.
How close is that to you? Did you travel far for that?
Stu, I've got too many friends that names begin with S. I run into this problem a lot. Scott, Scott, that's the one. He's a tall guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
The one that's that was the Old Bull's Head, which I think was the first Black Country Ales pub, or at least where they do most of their brewing now. And that was in. Hold on, it's coming. Gornal. Do we have
That's a
someone
character
working?
from Harry Potter.
Do we have someone working the boards on this show? Can we?
Funny enough, I don't know.
It's not family fortune. I can't turn around. Our survey said no,
which is close-ish. It's just outside Birmingham, but really cool pub. And that was released like a year ago now. She reminded me, which is crazy because it seems like only yesterday. But there again, just great guys and fantastic range of beers. Again, something that you can get quite readily available over here, but Stu does struggle with that. So we are planning on getting some beers down to Stu at some point. We are talking about it. It's just a very one-sided relationship at the moment, and I apologize. I want to put that out there to Stu. No hard feelings on all the beer that I've drank of yours, and you haven't seen a penny from me. I'm scrounging basically, but it makes a good show. So do you know what? The fans are happy. So what's a couple of £100 between friends? That's what I say.
Indeed. One question I've been asking everybody recently. We were talking about it earlier with the tomatoes in a beer. What's tomato ghosts? We were talking about earlier. What's the weirdest or most unusual adjunct you've ever drunk or seen in a beer, whether you've enjoyed it or not? What's the weirdest thing you've seen as an ingredient in a beer? A bit on the spot, I know, but you know.
My go-to is carrot cake.
Okay, yeah.
I've never gotten a chance to drink it, but just seeing Vault City teasing about what their next beer is, and they put like a reel on Instagram or something, and it just shows you them literally throwing an entire carrot cake into the tank, and it was like they were so unhinged. It was like, what? That's where the hops go. You just launch an entire cake in there. So it might. There's probably definitely been wilder things, but just to see a whole cake being chucked in, like just in there was mind blowing at the time.
Yeah, I think carrots is bad enough, but chucking the whole cake in as well, there's like plenty of sugar in that. But yeah, why not?
Overkill. I think one always comes to mind for me, even though I can't quite remember a lot about the beer, is Cold Town's Porn Star Martini Ale, which always struck me as a very specific flavor to a beer, or a very specific kind of thing to put in a beer or combine with a beer. That's always one that's kind of stood out for me as a bit of a strange one. But I don't think I've had a bad beer that's kind of had something strange in it where I've gone, oh no, that's ruined the beer. I think it's kind of hard to do, to be honest. I mean, beer's beer at the end of the day, isn't it?
Well, saying that, I've actually just remembered a crazy one that both of us have drank, which we did for a review.
Something to do with chili?
Yeah, actually. It was the Fireball Whiskey Sour beer.
Again, see that
chili, cinnamon, Fireball whiskey into a sour beer.
Is that another Vault City?
No, this was a Carnival Brewing.
Oh, okay. All right.
It didn't strike me as that weird, to be honest. I think whiskey, beer kind of goes. But it wasn't
the flaming like aniseed thing. The taste I wasn't expecting.
It was a hot tamale, man. It was very difficult to drink, if I remember. But I think, to be honest, I think the world we're living in now, people are used to strange things in their beer. It's very hard for us to be kind of put off by that. if anything, me and Stu lap it up. It's like,
yeah, I was gonna say you're generally up for trying weird stuff and like crazy, like sounds a bit weird.
Anything to kind of just, beat the norm of your standard beers, which are just getting boring at this point. I think we've done them all. I don't know whether I don't know whether to confirm that. We can get back to you on that. We can go through the back catalogue and see, but I'm pretty sure we've done all of them, or at least 99.9% of them.
Well, how about this one then? I think Mr. Wilson has trumped us all here. Had a beer with crickets used instead of oats, I guess for the protein. It was okay.
Talking about Freddie Flintoff, that was his beer, right?
See, I can see that because like crickets are like protein filled and stuff like that, so it's going to give the beer a good body, like. But
was that homebrew, or was that we need more information about this? You can't just say something like that and then just clear out. We really need to know.
I wonder if you're allowed to do that commercially. I mean, I started asking this question because we did a beer in the spring with Japanese knotweed, and that was pretty weird, but really nice, really nice kind of. Yeah, there's a bit of citrus in it and a bit of kind of, they had like a pickle kind of note to it, which was odd, but sort of savouriness and sweetness. It was really weird. So I'm all up for kind of strange stuff, but so yeah, good answers. But obviously my glass is dry, so I'm going to call for beer number 2, please.
That was good. It was smooth, very
smooth, and that's not even pre-recorded. I actually do that live. It's
you shout beer number 2. That's
because I haven't worked out how to do it. Well, I could actually go back into Canva and do it, but I might as well just say it. It's there in front of me, innit?
What? So you don't even have like cue cards or anything like that.
Yeah, load them up. Yeah, no, it just comes natural,
Why can't we do that, Stu? Come on, man. You've seen our show. Sloppy, very sloppy.
No, you can have that one on me, man. It's thanks, just man. Just ideas. So yeah, I'm onto the ESB. Let's get this in a glass.
Life-changing stuff. This is life-changing stuff. I'm going to pour another London Pride, I suppose, while you're doing that.
Fair play. That's all right. We'll allow it. I'm going to go traditional with this one. I'm thinking a big dimple mug is most appropriate for this one.
Good call. Very good.
Is that right? It was either that or tribute pint glass, but I thought this one was probably have a little wipe. I think I've been listening specific with the washing of this, but no, it's okay. It's all right. Won't damage the beer. Harder to judge the colour in a dimple, I think, but definitely, yeah, it's got a little bit of darkness to it. I was imagining ESB to be darker, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. I would say there's a good dark golden colour going on there again.
Yeah, that's poured really well.
Yeah,
great head development. Looks good in that kind of glass.
Delicious.
Before I forget, and before Mr. Wilson reminds me, no, he hasn't yet. Talk amongst yourselves whilst I step out and do the photograph for the old social media. Even more important as I've only got the one, so that's a badly washed glass. There's far too much bubbles on that, but there we go. I'm a bit fussy with that sort of thing, so there we go.
Has he left now? Stu, what do you think of this disco guy?
I'm just behind the camera. But Stu, be honest. What do you think of this disco idiot? He's an idiot, isn't he?
He is like a one-man band. He's all singing, all dancing. There's all these things where it's like, right, I'll wait until I'm off camera to do these things, but no, he's like straight into it. He's doing live production in front of us.
This is impressive.
Like, this is smart. These are ideas that we should have stolen by now.
I was going to say, yeah.
It would be impressive if we any good. I could actually get a good picture, but yeah, I think we've got there eventually.
That's amazing. I think we're behind the times, to be honest.
Well, it's YouTube. You're more than welcome to steal any and all of the ideas that you see. I can't guarantee that will do you any more subs, likes, or friends.
No intellectual copyright on this side of the world.
Certainly no
normally
going on with me.
Yeah. Normally when we promote our channel, it's the opposite. We lose subscribers.
don't copy me then, because I lost 2 overnight after doing all them German, English style German beers yesterday. I don't know.
Yeah, that's me, Stu.
You
hate German beers.
It's probably just Rasco unsubscribing, to be fair.
From his own channel. Wow.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's fairly common knowledge now. Like, it's not his channel. He has sort of officially stepped aside and left me to it. So it's just me now. But I refuse to change the name because I think it's a little tribute to the man who set up the channel. So, plus it really confuses people. It's kind of fun.
Kind of more how I feel, yes, regarding that information.
So, how do you guys work between the two of you? Is there like one of you does the ideas and one of you does is it all like really harmonious, like getting the ideas and getting the production out?
There's definitely lots of daily conversations, like across text. Like, I've got this idea and I need to bounce it off of someone, so I'll send it to Tom, and he'll kind of give me the realistic answer, and then we just kind of
just shooting him down all day,
just argue back and forward until we're both happy, and we find a nice compromise, and then we're productive. So I do a majority of the video side of it, like when it comes to editing, uploading, adding music, making shorts, things like that. But when we do beer reviews, I work off of Tom's notes. Normally when we do beer reviews, sure, the final product may be 20 minutes, but it might be like 15 minutes of fat that needs trimmed.
Yeah.
So Tom gets in there and carves it up.
I'm the carver of this duo for sure.
Yeah.
And that's all that needs to be said about
fair
it.
Enough.
I think. No, Stu said it better than I could, to be honest. Yeah, we've always just had quite a collaborative kind of team up, I suppose. We just kind of do what's fun. I think we just do what sounds fun and what sounds interesting to both of us. I think we've tried to kind of, when there's popular beers or popular trends and things like that, we'll have a look and we'll see if they look cool, and we might give it a go ourselves. But I think a lot of the time, most of the time, it's just what sounds fun. What are we gonna kind of have a laugh doing?
Yeah.
It's the same. Like when there's trends, it's not as easy for us because we need to technically do twice the amount of work. Like, okay, the Guinness Nitro Surge was out, and every channel was giving us their interpretation of it, but it would require both me and Tom to individually find these, sync up, do a video, and get it out. So it's a lot more work in the sense of I could have just went to the shop, bought one, and just fired out a solo video, but it is nowhere near as much fun. Like just kind of doing solo stuff. If I could get a chance to do the video with Tom, it's immediately, I feel like 10 times more appealing to like our audience, friends group, and even just recording it.
Yeah, I agree. I prefer somebody to kind of work off because contrary to popular belief, I don't actually enjoy the sound of my own voice. So I don't want to be sitting here talking all the time. If I'm talking too much tonight, just feel free to jump in, but
shut up, Disco. I can't even get a word out, man. Like,
perfect.
No, I think, I think from the very beginning, it was all about me and Stu just trying to kind of, we kind of had something to do when we were really bored, and that's kind of how it started. And we kind of like to keep that same ethos, I would think. I do think at the end of the day, like, we could be doing the channel or doing the show about anything really. But we both really enjoy beer, and beer's a lot of fun to talk about. So we do it about beer. But me and Stu have done podcasts in the past before together, and
okay,
I'm starting to think he might like me.
Well, I've got further questions about that, and we'll come back to that in a minute. I think Luke likes you. Says I'm here to see Tom get into his birthday suit, and that's it. Well, sorry, we've already discussed that one. That happened at the top of the show, so you'll have to go back and watch it and find out.
Well, I've got 6 beers left, so I'm thinking 1 button per beer, if that's okay with Luke John. And it was a long couple of months, but it really was. My hair was actually longer before, so I've actually cut this a little bit.
If we swapped my camera around, I could probably make a good Wilson.
There we go.
That's a film reference I get. I don't watch many films, but I don't think I've even watched that one, but I know what you mean.
Would I have the balls? People have been saying I need to get balls for a long time, and I'm thinking if you would kindly do that, that would be great for me.
I send you a lot of things in the post, Tom. I'm not going to send that.
Yeah, thanks for that, Anthrax. I really appreciate that. I've got a bit of a tickle.
I tell you what, I've been chatting away, and I've not even got into the beer yet.
Yeah, you might want to try that. It's pretty nice.
I've been talking, right. So let me get into the ESB, extra special beer. Like I say, lovely golden colour. Probably lighter than I expect, but it looks good. Nice head development and retains it. It's not disappearing, so properly good. So yeah, cheers.
Cheers, buddy. Thanks for having us on again. If I haven't said that before, I'm still having a good time, so I thought I would say cheers again.
Nice one. Oh yeah. I often think ESBs can be kind of a bit harsh and rough around the edges. The ones I've seen, and I'm not even sure about Fuller's ESB. Sometimes I prefer some of the others, like I said before, but that's got a nice, gentle, golden bitter note to it. It's got it's solid. It's a robust body, and again, there's like a balance to it. It's not like a massive hop note either way, and there's not. I say there's a robustness to it, but it's not kind of rough. Do you know what I mean? It's like that kind of burriness on some of the kind of more traditional kind of bitters and that I always find.
Yeah,
but honey maybe on that, perhaps.
I think it's quite low in terms of ABV for an ESB. I think it just slides into the ESB category, but I think it has a lot of the similar taste profile to an ESB. But really what I get is that kind of, it already has, but it already has. I'm surprised this is still going, this thing. This stream should have ended ages ago in terms
there was a wobble earlier.
Deficiencies that we're probably experiencing right now.
I'm sure you could post that wig to me, Tom. Next time you're sending beer up, just stick it in that.
I'm gonna. Why is it chest hair looking a bit weak at the moment? Bit thin. I could. I mean, keeps me employed definitely, but well, makes my job tolerable at least.
In our brewing video, when they say ESB, I remember turning to you going, "What does that stand for again?" Like right away in my head was extra special beer,
and it is. It is
indeed. Yeah.
But yeah, it's mainly that kind of malt, biscuity, very. I think there's a very small hint of like a dark fruit there, I think. So for me, it's kind of bang on in terms of what I would want from an ESB. Maybe just a slightly higher ABV, I think, and it would be pretty perfect. Not to toot my own sax.
Trombone.
Yeah. I think it's pretty drinkable.
Mm-hmm.
Got a bit nervous then because she was staring at me with those daddy eyes, like, "Come on, don't say the wrong thing, don't embarrass us. Come on."
Oh, it's too late for that.
Come on, your mom only allows me to take you out every weekend, every Tuesday night. We get together and you're fucking it up. Come on.
I'm gonna nip out for some milk. I'll be back the next.
You stay right there, okay? And you let off the cigarettes too. I don't want that excuse.
I think we've done okay. That was the first swear word I remember of the stream tonight. So we've done all right.
All right. Is it a non-swearing stream? Sorry,
that's fine. You can say whatever you like. I don't mind. Well, yeah, women.
You didn't get my notes. I didn't get your notes.
I know.
Sorry, bud.
We just make it up as we go along, anyway.
Best way to do it, I think.
Yeah. So I'm liking these beers, man. Solid, obviously, like with a bit of help from Stewart Brewing. Does this give you any like ideas of like going into a bit more homebrew production or doing some more beers, or
maybe,
is it just
we were talking? I think the end goal for ages was doing our own beer. I think me and Stu were talking about that in like the first year or so of the logs. So it's cool that it's happened, but I think so. I think it'd be like a natural extension of that, or kind of like a natural route to go down would be to kind of keep producing beer. I don't know how we were going to do it, obviously being so far away from each other. But it'd be nice to think that we could do it in the future. I don't know whether we would agree on a style, to a kind of a style that we would kind of have as our tent pole, kind of title. I don't know whether we could ever do that, but it would be nice to think that we could possibly in the future.
Well, I guess the next goal therefore surely should be like Stu's got his like home game, as it were, brewing at Stewart Brewing, and he needs like have an away game, like maybe find a Midlands brewery to brew your beer, Tom, and Stu come down for that or something like that,
I think Banks's are doing a brewery day,
a wholesale.
They've got a bit of availability now, I think.
They've got quite a lot of availability, so we're going to check their diaries, we're going to check our diaries, we're going to see if there's any space shared, and we're going to do it there. But yeah, I would like to think that we could do something over here, because last few times me and Stu got together, it's been in Scotland, we've done Edinburgh, we've done Glasgow, we've done Dundee. It would be nice to do something down here, but England's just really boring.
Well, next year, what with GBBF next year, Great British Beer Festival being in Birmingham, that's ideal for your neck of the woods, isn't it, Tom?
That could be, I mean, that could be a good shout. I mean, travel time's going to be quite extensive, but I think other than that, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, well, I haven't even started looking at that yet. I normally go to it every year because it's in London, but now it's out of London. I'm like, well, it's got to make the effort, haven't I? So maybe.
I guess I'm going to have to go now, I suppose. I haven't got anything to wear, though.
That's all right. It's not till August. You'll be fine. I missed a load of comments again because I've been chatting, because that's the whole point of the stream. No, Luke, I haven't published my thesis on behavioural development of squirrels. That would be nuts, but that was a conversation we was having last night. Couldn't think of a better gag for that one. Sorry, you work away if you can. And that's it. Lots of comments in up north in Scotch Eggland. Well, David Wilson is probably nailed on to go to GBBF in Birmingham, I would say.
It's weird because we only normally get GBH in Birmingham, so to get GBF, it's quite a change. It's quite a nice difference.
Yeah. Well, there was another question I had, and I've forgotten it already.
I'm ready whenever you are. So
you're
frozen at the moment, so I can't quite tell if you're laughing or smiling or sad.
No, we're here. No, that was what I was going to say. I was going to come back to the whole duo business. Like, I'm sure you've said this on the stream before, and I've seen it. But how did you guys meet? How did you guys get the Lager Logs going together? Where's the connection, being that you're 200 miles apart?
We agreed beforehand. It's Stu's turn tonight to tell this story. I'm going to take it easy.
Yeah. So, me and Tom's known each other for, would you say, about 15 years now?
Yeah, we don't look that old, do we? But apparently,
it's gone quick, isn't it?
We have only really actually met each other 5, maybe 6 times.
A handful of times. Depends on how many fingers you got.
Yeah. So, way back when, I guess early 2000s, you had the internet wasn't as interesting. It was all message boards, and I remember starting one for like a love of Asian cinema, Hong Kong kung fu movies, the likes of that, and that eventually started a podcast, because at that stage I was really into podcasts, And I had one for movies, I had one for my TV shows, I had one for wrestling, but there was nothing to do with like Kung Fu cinema. So I decided to start one myself. That podcast still exists today. There's like a full network now called Podcast on Fire. It's still podcasts, Blu-ray commentaries. It's a lot, and thankfully that's got nothing to do with me. There's more talented people behind that website now.
It's gone up in the world for sure. Yes. Since two left, sadly.
So I started it with my friend Kenneth. Tom came in on the podcast later on, and yeah, like we were in contact. Like if we were in the same neck of the woods, we would meet up, go for a drink, and that was normally it. But again, like most things, this love of craft beer and lager logs was something that came out of lockdown, pandemic. Nothing to do when you're stuck at home. So every Saturday night, Tom would get a group of us together on Skype, and there would be maybe 8 or 10 of us. There'd be all different people from like our various communities that all knew each other, whether it be on Facebook, Podcast on Fire, things like that. And we'd all jump on, different people around the world, having a drink on a Saturday night. And 9 times out of 10, the conversation would always whittle down to me and Tom. So yeah, I think it was like a late night in August. We were sitting talking to ourselves. Said, "Oh, this is brilliant! Like, you know what? Beer's really good."
We were talking to each other, though. Yeah, we weren't just losing our minds. Yeah, just talking to ourselves, but like in separate locations on Skype. That would be strange. We were talking to each other, I promise.
But no, we were drinking beer and thinking, like, this is great. Like, if there were just a way that we could kind of capture this, like, drink beer, talk about it, and like log it, and then move on to the next one. And yeah, like by 2 a.m. on something like the 24th of August, I was on like purchasing web domains, Instagram handles, Twitter handles for the lager logs. And I'm glad I spell checked because I was larger logs to begin with.
We've all done it one time or another.
Yeah,
and we're both tiny, so it wouldn't.
It clicked when like thelargerlogs.com was taken. So that doesn't make sense. So and yeah, ever since we've started this kinship with craft beer, we've kind of made it a goal to get together at least once a year. To go out and get pissed together and just make great content. And I say make great content, like just great content happens when we get together.
Just like, make content. That's
like, at some point, some of it will be great.
I don't know whether the great comes into it too often. It
was like when we got together in Glasgow, and Tom decided to open a beer in the back of an Uber, and they immediately kicked us out. And said, "You can't drink. You cannot drink in my car."
Yeah.
So we said, "Right, go and give us 60 seconds," and we're standing outside like a children's park, chugging beer as quick as we could, and then quickly got back into the Uber and off to the next tap room.
And these are just the pre-drinks.
Tom annoyed another person.
I don't do it on purpose. I just think quite thin-skinned over in Glasgow.
Yeah, you open your mouth and you offend people.
No offense here. I'm just going to scroll through the comments as we're doing because I always forget to go back to them. But that's a really cool. It's a really good story because it's just like, just meeting up, talking about beer, man. What could be more fun?
Yeah, definitely. And that was it. We would just be going to like our local shops, and ideally with the goal of finding the weirdest beer to bring to the party that night. So we'd get on Skype, and I'd be like, "Oh, look, this bottle's like a little Buddha," and we'd just have a little laugh, and then we would just talk about it, and it would just gear me up to think about the next trip to Home Bargains to find something equally as daft to buy and to drink.
trying to outdo each other kind of every weekend with the strangest stuff. So
I love that idea, the little challenge of it. Yeah, that's great, man.
It was fun. I mean, it kept us going. Like a lot of people, I think I was unemployed at the time. Like I was on drugs. I was on furlough for quite a while, and I think it's when you're doing nothing and you can't see your family or friends, it's difficult, man. It's difficult. You used to kind of fill your weeks up, your weekdays with stuff. And you wanted on the weekend to do just something different, get together with your pals and have a few beers. And I think we definitely recreated that kind of pub party atmosphere on Skype. And, it's what we've been doing kind of ever since, really. It's
as I say, as I think we have tonight, lads, to be fair, it's been a good chat and a laugh, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? But it's like if we had met in a pub, but...
a couple of bags of poor scratches wouldn't have gone amiss, but that's something to work on for next time.
Yeah, well, Brad, if there's going to be a next time, I'll get the poor scratchings in for sure. Like,
Appreciate
bring it over to yours.
Appreciate that. I like them extra chewy, so if they're not, I get real cranky.
Oh, we got some in on the bar the other month, and they went straight away. They were called the Posh Pork Crackling. They weren't pork scratching; they were pork crackling, but they were just like really like regimental, like thing. But they were really like crunchy on the outside, but soft on the inside. So that's my recommendation for pork products.
Very nice. Very nice indeed.
Is that your preferred snack of choice, beer snack of choice, Tom? Pork scratchings?
It is. Yeah, it is. I think if we're talking like having a few pints, pork scratchings. I really like those little bags of chorizo you get, the kind of little ones, little mini.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
they're incredible.
Beer sticks.
Yeah, but just crisps. So they just kind of, I don't know what it is. They just hit a bit differently when you've had a few pints. If we're talking like hammered food, that's kind of a whole different category. But in terms of just nicely, slightly inebriated, your pork scratchings, your crisps, they're just perfect. Perfect. I mean, me and Stu have tried to kind of hunt down the best beer snack, I think, on the show. We've done quite a few episodes of trying to find what's good and what's bad, and we've tried a few kind of the beer related. How many was it? Three. We've done three. So that's not
reviewed. Oh wait, okay, sorry. 5 packets of crisps.
5 packets of crisps. So it's not that many. It doesn't sound really like a pursuit. It sounds something like, we just get to every now and again. We'll decide. Sounds fun. But that's kind of how we do most of the show, to be fair. But I think of the ones we've tried, a lot of them have been really good. And most of them have been crisps. So I think those two, there's a correlation there between the two, for sure.
I find crisps difficult because you can't always get the flavors. Like if you get a bit of cheese crisps, pizza works, but cheese crisps for me don't work with beer so much. You get a bit of flavor cache. But anything meaty works.
Yeah. Pizza and beer, or like chicken and beer, chicken wings and beer.
Fiery prawn
made in heaven. No, they bit lukewarm then, to be honest.
A good warm pork pie and pickle, man.
That sounds good as well, man.
Trouble is, what it is, there's no right answer to that question. It's just whatever you have available at the time. So, but keep searching. Well. Keep searching.
I could easily imagine Tom with like an 80 shilling and a pick and mix.
Say pick and mix.
No, that does make more sense, to be honest.
I think, sweets go a bit weird because they kind of throw your taste buds off a little bit when you're having beer. You need something a bit more savoury.
Unless you've got a sour beer. If you've got a fruit sour, then packet Haribo is banging it, isn't it?
You could, you could.
I don't know what Yorkshire tidbits are, to be fair. He's talking about the snack, not trying to make the stream dirty there, Luke. But I don't know what Yorkshire tidbits are, but they sound great. I have to go and find them out, man.
Sounds like a meat cup.
I was going to say that's something I've ever heard of before. I won't go there, Luke John. I appreciate you saying that, but I'm not going to. Thanks for the insight. I think we've all been in that position where we're just kind of nibbling on a block of cheese after like 6 pints of broadside on a Wednesday night. We've all been there, like you say, it's anything that's kind of in the fridge or in the cupboard a lot of the time.
It's available, yeah.
Sure.
Anything to fill the belly.
Another question I always like to ask: what is your earliest beer memory?
Aside from that whole, my dad giving me a can of Stones fresh out the womb.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Legal or otherwise, like.
I just imagine him holding it like something like you've just won Grand Prix. He's actually shaking it, and spraying you with beer.
Exactly. Yeah, I accidentally got a bit of that in my mouth. I was like, "Ooh, what's that?" Ooh,
the eyes lit
nice. Up. Ooh, bitter. Yeah, for me it was with my Uncle Mike, rest in peace, and it was Snakebite, and that was kind of his drink of choice at the time. I think it might have been a Carling and Frosty Jack's combination, which probably didn't make for the best first, alcohol experience. So I used to drink that when I was first starting properly, actually kind of drinking, like doing a session and having a few and, kind of stopping over. And that must have been when I was about 15 or so. But I do remember kind of having sips of my mom's Strongbow as well. She was a big cider fan when I was little, and I'd have kind of a few sips of that every now and again. But yeah, I didn't really start to properly enjoy beer. I think it's one of those you drink Carling and whatever your dad can get from the off license, and he's willing to give you.
I can assure you I don't, Tom, but I know where you're going.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you see the area ways as you kind of advance in age, but I think it wasn't until
I don't Foster's 4X. I can't keep that.
Anything you can find. I don't think it was until I got into kind of my 20s, mid-20s, that you start developing a bit of a taste for certain things. And that's kind of when I think I actually started enjoying it for the taste, and rather than let's get, pissed at my friend's house, although that still does happen from time to time. But we're definitely drinking a lot better beer. I will say that.
Well, yeah, we have that luxury now, I guess. Apparently, Yorkshire Titbits are small oat biscuits that are savoury. Sounds a bit weird, but fair play. Stu, what was your earliest beer memory, by the
way? For me, it was getting a bottle of Miller's Genuine Draft given to me at a friend's barbecue, and just remember sitting nursing it because I thought the taste was revolting. And it's almost just like you're kind of just like thumb over the top going.
One of them. Yes. Poured it into a bush when no one's looking.
One of the lads right here. This guy, Animal. And
Potting Animal over here.
But of course, it was Miller Draft, so it was like the clear glass bottle. Oh. So probably it probably took like half an hour to get from here to here. And I just remember my mate's dad looking at me and saying, do you need help drinking that? I was sitting nursing it for so long.
Yeah.
And it haunted me again. I remember going to meet my girlfriend, went to her house, now my wife, and it was like she was babysitting, and as her parents were leaving, her dad was like, "Here, have a beer." Miller's Draft again. Like, right. And I remember just going, good, put it down on the table, slammed it, and volcano all over the coffee table, across the living room. And I just like, oh no. I just remember taking off my jumper to soak it up and then just walking home that night with my soggy jumper on.
You wish you were taking off her jumper, but unfortunately you were taking off your own.
That would have been, if there's one of those dodgy
beer stain jumper
videos, yeah, I would have quickly hauled her top off to soak up the beer.
Dodgy video? Which type of dodgy video are we talking? I don't know. Can you explain?
Come on, I just spat out my raspberry and honey oat pale, damn it.
I mean, we were talking about traditional beers earlier. There's a great example.
Oh, he's on it. It's all right. Yeah.
I used to, another good memory I'd like to add. I used to drink, I don't know whether you guys remember. Do you remember Brahma which was like I think a Brazilian lager.
Yeah.
I spent many nights as a youth drinking that because it's what my dad drank, and he had that in the fridge all the time. I just don't think it's something you get anymore, but I'd be interested to see if it actually holds up. Probably not, because I think it was the only thing I knew then, aside from Carlin. And Miller as well was, I think when me and Stu were that age, me and Stu have only got a few years between us, but around that age, I think it was quite prevalent. You could get it in a lot of newsagents, but for some reason now it's something you don't see.
Yeah, it's just big beer and do good marketing, I think.
I think probably Coors is taking its rightful place in the American beer market over here.
Yeah, I remember they had Miller Lite as well for a while.
That was piss. No one drank that.
Yeah,
that was bad. That was really bad. Even Stu wouldn't drink that, I think, at the time.
Disco.
Yeah.
What was your earliest beer memory since we've gone around the table?
Like a true professional podcaster. Did you hear that? Disco?
Yeah.
The transition.
Mine was similar to Tom's, but 4 years past. To be fair, I have this vivid memory of a bunch of uncles and my dad at a family party. They used to drink those kind of brown ale, kind of old man beers, like little stubbies and that. Again, in dimple glasses. And I vaguely remember at the age of 4 or 5, I might have embellished it over the years, but I remember walking into the kitchen going, "Oh, what's that? What are you drinking?" And they went, "Beer." "Oh, can I try some?" And they went, "No, you won't like it." I'm like, "Yeah, well, it looks great." And they did give me a sip. And I remember taking a sip, and it was literally, my mouth was on fire and flushed out with domestos, and it was disgusting. And I remember them going, "Oh, did you like that?" I'm like, yeah, it's lovely. It's like, "Do you want some more?" "No, it's all right. I've had enough, thanks."
Yeah, first time with whiskey was a similar story, to be honest. I suppose we've all got tales like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it grows on you, like a nice sexually received infection. It just grows to the point where you get used to it. No, doc, I don't need that shot in the bum cheek. I actually like living with it now. I've grown accustomed to it. It's kind of a bit of a conversation starter. Oh, good, very good call.
Yeah,
very good call.
Fair play.
Stunning combination.
I was more like down the social club. I mean, Mum used to drink Snowball, so drinking Advocaat and I was like terrible, but good at the time. K cider was one of the first ones as well in the social club.
I've seen those tins in the shop.
Yeah.
Is that like 9%? Something silly like that?
We have never even looked at that. It was just a black bottle with a red label, and it looked really enticing and really and it was available. That was the main thing. We could get hold of it. And we were about 15, I think.
That's all that matters.
16 probably, but yeah. I don't. It's been a long time, so I think you're allowed to admit it now. I don't think you get busted for that shit anymore. Is it illegal? I don't know.
Probably to produce it, yeah.
Whiskey's a thing I never quite got into. Like John's there talking about whiskey, and I'm like, I remember trying it, and I've got a mate who works for a whiskey company. He's tried to foist me a load of whiskey around his house and say, "Oh, try this, is great." And I'm like, "No, it tastes like Domestos to me." It's not like I go around drinking Domestos on a regular basis, but it's just what I imagine,
Only when I'm cleaning the toilet. I just get really thirsty.
I knew it's not just me with the Snowballs. It is a mum kind of drink, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Again, it's like a generational thing. I think like sherry and your port and stuff. It's starting to kind of die out a little bit, which is a shame.
Yeah, there's probably bottles of it in cupboards across the country untouched, and it's like
exactly. Your fortified wines, you think like that, things like that.
Yeah.
But we're keeping them. We're keeping the spirits alive, as it were. I think it's important to kind of hold on to your alcohol heritage. Really, that's why I'll be drinking snake bites at my 80th, guys.
And black or just regular snake bite?
No, I don't think black. I've been told about black, and I'm not really. That's with blackcurrant, right?
Yeah.
Sounds a bit funky for me. I know my dad has Guinness and black because he's a big baby. Shout out to him.
Or just like lager and like Strongbow dark fruits. It's kind of a snake bite and black.
Maybe I could get down with that, possibly. I don't know. I'm always a bit opposed to like fruit in my beer, especially when it's like kind of, blackcurrant, citrus area. If it's kind of more like raisiny, figgy, that kind of area, I'm all for it. But yeah, I think you're more kind of juicy things. If it's a sour, maybe, but I think mixing it with a beer, it's a bit like blasphemy. I don't know, but I'm open to it. I drink turbo shandies every weekend, so what do I know?
What I tell you what, I've this is great. It's a really pretty easy drinking, like you say. It's like solid. You're proud of it. You're pleased with it.
Aye, that's it. That was the biggest fear of going in, spending a big chunk of money, coming away with 10 boxes, more than that. So there was, I think, over 130 bottles of beer, and in my head, it's like, oh, what if it's shite? Take a sip and go, ah! And that's what I just kept saying to the guy Nathan, just like, you're here to make sure we don't make bad beer, right? And it's like, yes, that is my job, just to kind of listen to what you want and then guide you in the right direction.
Well, it's got their name on it, I guess. Like as a commercial brewery, they don't really want to be putting bad beer out. Although, I don't know. Like, well, yeah, Stewart, we only really see an Audi, so I never look on their beer list. I should probably have a quick look at some of their beers at some point. Like,
I thought his job was to stop Scott from humping the tankards.
Yeah, they brought in extra staff for that.
That was they needed
it was like the president's secret service. You didn't see them, but they were there.
They were on double duty for that. Honestly,
they knew about you two. Like your picture was behind the bar.
Did you?
Oh yeah, I mentioned the disco that you wrote a short story on each bottle.
I forgot. I just looked at that and I forgot. My eyesight is terrible despite these glasses. So I do have to have the old magnifying glass.
That's okay. Take your time. I thought it was
like the next level of beer goggles.
Yeah, no, that's even sober, Mike. And also the lighting is poor, and I'm just really badly organised, and I should go to the opticians, but that's too far away, and
that's okay. That's what we love about you. All these things.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, guess who I bumped into on the way to Specsavers the other day? Absolutely everyone. I couldn't see him.
I was about to say, this is a joke. You're like, that's far too smooth a transition. Like, this isn't real.
I'm sure Slurpy Dave told me that one. He's the man for the jokes. Right, it says here, the Lagerlock's Pints of You with Tom and Stu.
That's it.
You said it's really dark. You said you wanted a pour, right? Allow us to introduce. No,
it probably makes more sense if you read the first bottle. If you read the Pilsner bottle first and then the ESB. I think that's how we put them together.
I'll read them. I've got them here in front of me if you want.
Do you have your microscope with you?
We're good.
That'll do.
Okay.
Save me the trouble, Disco.
Talking about old mates, yes, Mark, you would be about right to be the last time I turned down a beer.
About 1980.
Trouble is, he knows me. We've known each other that long. He has got it spot on, so that's how old I am. But yeah, sorry, Stu, go on.
No worries. So on the side of the Pilsner, it reads, the Lagerlock's Pints of You with Tom and Stu. So it looks like your favourite dynamic Brew have finally cooked up their own moonshine, and the testers have become the testees. I mean, they need a bit of an upgrade since my last Torsion.
Torso. Torsion.
Torsion, okay. Determined not to be just another log in the wheel, we've brewed something a little bit different, an English porter made with Scottish water.
Hold on, you mean Pilsner? How many beers have you had?
The best Anglican can take on a bohemian concept since Queen went opera or your money back. Check, please. Check, Pilsner, check. Yours truly, the extended pint posse.
That was pretty good. Did Guthrie write that?
I think you
very intelligent, well-spoken individual.
I was definitely the fifth draft of that, I think.
I mean, draft is what we were going for, so I think we succeeded there.
It was actually better read than I could have done anyway. So superb. Thank you for that.
No worries.
I've
you
got
want me to rattle
beer.
off the Scott Stag Brew because it's a different story on that one, funnily enough.
I go for it. Yeah, definitely. I don't want to be able to read that either.
So for Scott's Stag Brew, you said you wanted pour, right? Allow us to introduce the mutant malt sibling of our first mistake. Adoption? We did never dream of it. He could end up in...
What does it say? What does it say on the bottle shoe?
I'm trying. Honestly, I am trying.
I'd like to know.
I'm going to see if I can follow
it. Oh, good Lord.
Right.
Yeah, so allow us to introduce the mutant malt sibling of our first mistake. Adoption? Question mark. We'd never dream of it. He could end up...
Come on, remain professional. Show must go on.
I don't see what's funny. I'm just trying to follow along. It's very difficult, Stu.
If you don't, Tom, you know him. Right? What I provide?
I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's got an interim disc. I don't know, man.
That's too silly. I apologize. Oh, good Lord. Okay.
And I comb my hair for this and everything. I don't know.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have bothered.
And you know what it says. Come on. I'm relying on you, Stu. I can't read it.
It's terrible. It's so bad, actually. So our first mistake, adoption? Question mark. We'd never dream of it.
He could end up in a foster's home. I've read that bit.
There we go. Oh, it's so bad. Brew to commemorate the biggest regret of our best friend's life. In brackets, although shares in the ice-based solar panels. Although shares in those ice-based solar panels comes a close second, we'd like to think our take on the classic ESB is decent enough to not put you off fluids forever. You may now kiss the beer ride.
I mean, and that's all your own work, Tom, yeah?
That was nothing to do with me.
That's AI. 100% chat GBT.
Oh, that was an AI composition.
I mean, I like a good fun, but some of those
on something like that.
I need to open a window, jeez.
Fair play. Well, thanks for getting through that, Stu. That was the mission.
Barely.
I did not expect to shed so much tears tonight.
Blood, sweat, and beers, my good man. Blood,
well,
sweat,
as you
and
recover,
beers.
I've gone on to a bonus beer. I thought I got a Stewart Brewing one in recently. Sequoia Sunset.
Stewart Brewing. Who the fuck's that?
Who are they? Yeah, man. Are they any good? You've heard of them?
No, from what I've heard.
6.5% West Coast IPA. I didn't read that bit, but yeah, that's all right.
What's that called? Sorry, Disco.
It's called Sequoia Sunset, or is it? It's like you know, like when you get quinoa and quinoa. It's like it might be sequoia. I don't know.
Sequoia.
I mean, I'm struggling with pronunciation, but so is Stu. So it's over to you, Tom.
Hey guys, welcome to the Disco stream. We're having beer 3. Is that good, Disco?
Yeah, that's good. Hang on, let me do the banner. Let me do the banner.
Sorry, man, I spoiled it. I didn't think
you were prepared
for a third.
That was magic rehearsal. Ready, go for it.
And beer 3.
Dot.
I forgot the dots. Feel terrible.
Beer number 3. I haven't actually written a banner for this because it's all a bit last minute. But how do you reckon that
is it?
Where did you find that one?
There was in a certain subscription service box that I don't like to talk about from Scotland.
Oh, no, one you could never leave without jumping through several hoops.
Or trust me, I can. I've got several free boxes out of them. But this one I keep, and I actually got this one. I accidentally forgot to cancel this month because it was Scottish beers. So, and I do love beers from Scotland. So yeah, I think that says Sequoia.
Don't call me on that one. I've no idea what that says.
I thought you'd be able to get your tongue around that one, Tom. No worries. It's not entirely relevant. Apparently, it's a West Coast, and I'm never sure about West Coast, but yeah, there's some fruitiness. There's a little bit of pininess, and it's not. Yeah, it's all right. I prefer the first 2 beers. You know what I mean?
Of course. I mean, that's we expect you to say that, and not because we're paying you for this guest appearance. It's because they're actually good beers.
This is my mate Mark, who's a more traditional beer drinker than you are, Tom. Yeah, he was at Garage the other day in Barcelona, and I introduced him to sour beers, but he now likes craft beer.
Nice.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Thanks for popping in.
Cheers,
all good stuff, man. We'll get some more beers tomorrow.
Try not to hit the sack too hard. May I suggest kind of a more tip-based approach rather than the whole thing. Maybe just shallow kind of movements.
I think you're thinking of different sack. Different sack, Tom. Different sack.
Hitting the sack's one thing, but sitting on it. Like, if you sit down too quickly.
That sucks too. Sorry, wrong advice. Good advice, but the wrong advice.
Wrong podcast. Yeah, Dave Wilson, thanks for popping in. Cheers, man. He's off. We'll see you again maybe tomorrow.
Dave. Appreciate that, man. I'll see you at the BFI, the BFG,
BFF. Yeah.
The BBCs. I'm gonna be there for that, of course.
I think it's NEC actually.
The BBC at the NEC. We're going to be BFFs. It's going to be a great time all around. See you there.
Can't believe I'm going to miss out on the big fucking beer festival.
I got get direct train from Edinburgh. You'll be grand.
When you're coming down here, it's taking you far too long. I'm always going to Scotland, here, there, everywhere. Dundee, Aloha. West.
I'll meet you in the Shetland Isles.
Sounds good.
It's a long old boat. I tell you what, gents. I think on that note, because these beers have been good. I've enjoyed them. I'm going to do a good write up tomorrow on Instagram. This one I'm not so fussed about. It's all right. It's been cool. But so I don't take up too much time of your evening and everybody else's. We've had a good chat. It's been a good laugh, and thank you so much for sending me the beers.
No problem at all.
Shall we call it a day there and do the end of the stream?
Yes, sir. It's your show. Go for it.
So, thanks to everybody in chat. Thanks for all your comments. And if you're watching afterwards, thank you very much indeed. I've been really lucky to get these beers. And, thank you. They've been really good. And we will see you again on another live stream really soon. Maybe even as soon as tomorrow, if it happens. And also, don't forget links and all the other go and check out Tom and Stu, the Lager Logs, and have a good chat with them. Go and say hello to their next stream. That'll be ace. And thank you very much indeed. I've got an outro, then we'll have a chat after, gents.
Sounds
cheers.
Good. Oh, do we have to say goodbye now?
Yeah, let's do the cheers, goodbye, and
cheers.
Enjoy the beers.
Cheers everyone for joining us, and cheers for having us on disc. Really appreciate that. But thank you. Good to
Absolute
finally
pleasure, man.
chat, man. Absolute pleasure, like you said.
Superb.